Hello and welcome to News Hour on Souq News, where we bring you stories from across the globe. I am Lovina Emma. First, the headlines. Nigerian federal government targets 214% increase in petroleum profit tax revenue from oil sector in 2024. NNPC achieves 14,000 barrels daily from Akpo Westfield. Nigeria secures thrilling victory to face Cote d'Ivoire in AFCON final. British America Tobacco signals ITC stake disposal. Shares surge nearly 8%. India's oil minister credits country for keeping global crude prices affordable amid Russia ties. In a bid to boost revenue from the oil sector, the Nigerian federal government has set an ambitious target of 214% increase in petroleum profit tax (PPT) collections for the year 2024. Data from the Federal Inland Revenue Service reveals plans to generate 9.96 trillion naira from PPT, marking a substantial leap for the 3.17 trillion naira recorded in 2023 and an 89% hike over the initial projection of 5.26 trillion naira for the same year. The move comes as a response to the challenges posed by falling oil prices, prompting significant fiscal reforms through the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA. The PIA phased out the petroleum profits tax and introduced hydrocarbon tax, focusing on crude oil, condensates, and natural gas produced from associated gas in onshore and shallow waters. Looking ahead to 2024, the federal government has cautiously set an oil price benchmark of $77.96 per barrel and a production of 1.78 million barrels per day. However, challenges such as production costs enforced by OPEC and its allies may impact the realization of these targets. The tax rates under the HT will vary based on the type of license held, with converted petroleum mining licenses taxed at 30% for operations in onshore and shallow waters, and converted petroleum prospecting licenses taxed at a lower rate of 15%. Additionally, companies engaged in upstream activities, including those in deep offshore regions, upstream gas, and midstream and downstream sectors, will be subject to the company's income tax (CIT) at a standard rate of 30%, setting the maximum income tax rates for oil and gas companies at 60%. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) has officially commenced oil production from the Akpo Westfield, achieving a daily output of 14,000 barrels. This milestone was announced by the Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Oshoneye. According to him, this will add 14,000 barrels per day of condensate to the nation's production, with plans to increase gas production to about 4 million cubic meters per day by 2028, utilizing the existing Akpo floating production storage and offloading facility via a subsea tieback on petroleum mining lease. The project not only controls production costs, but also showcases a dedication to sustainable energy practices, minimizing greenhouse gas emissions. This solidifies the company's role as a pivotal player in Nigeria's energy sector, contributing significantly to economic growth and energy sustainability. Nigeria Interbank Settlement System (NIBSS) says electronic payments in the country soared to 600 trillion naira in 2023, hitting a record high with a 55% increase from 2022. As more Nigerians embrace cashless transactions, December marks the peak with a 71.9 trillion naira spent on electronic channels during the festive period. The NIBSS recorded an all-time high of 1.1 billion e-payment transactions in March 2023 due to cash scarcity. Annual transactions processed by NIBSS rose from 5.1 billion in 2022 to 9.7 billion in 2023, a 90% increase. The monthly breakdown revealed a steady rise, reaching 71.9 trillion in December. The NIBSS Instant Payments Platform played a crucial role, offering instant interbank transactions since its launch in 2011. The growth is attributed to revised cashless policy and increased adoption of mobile transfers and digital payments by Nigerians. The Enugu State Government, in partnership with Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, has launched a 1 billion naira fund to empower nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises in the state. The initiative, aimed at providing affordable business financing, involves Sterling Bank PLC managing and disbursing the funds. The 1 billion naira fund seeks to support NMSMEs in scaling up, enhancing competitiveness, and boosting the state's economy by creating jobs and fostering innovation. Interested NMSMEs must register at the Enugu SME Center with additional details on eligibility criteria to be communicated soon. This program signifies a significant move towards entrepreneurial development and economic growth in the region. The Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, NMC, has issued revised guidelines requiring Nigerian nurses and midwives to possess a minimum of 2 years of post-qualification work experience for their certificates to be verified by foreign boards or councils. Effective for March 1, 2024, these guidelines aim to enhance global standards in nursing education and practice. Key requirements include the rejection of applications with provisional licenses, a mandate for active practicing licenses with at least 6 months remaining, and an extended verification process, now expected to take a minimum of 6 months. The NMC assures that pending verification applications will be processed according to the previous guidelines. This move seeks to streamline the verification process and ensure adherence to international standards in nursing. Adamawa State Government has approved a 500 million naira fund for the procurement of agricultural inputs to boost dry season activities. Governor Amadu Fintiri sanctioned the budget to acquire fertilizers, herbicides, and improve seeds, prioritizing grassroots distribution through clusters. The initiative aims to enhance food security, considering the reported 810,133 food insecure individuals in Adamawa State. Commissioner Professor David Jatto emphasized effective utilization, warning against diversion, and encouraging stakeholders to contribute to the program's success. The proactive approach aligns with evaluations and monitoring to assess the inputs impact on agricultural productivity in the state. The Nigerian Super Eagles are set to face the Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire in the African Cup of Nations AFCON final on Sunday, marking Nigeria's first appearance in the championship match since securing the Continental Trophy in 2013. Their path to the final was solidified with a victory over the Bafana Bafana of South Africa, clinching a 4-2 win in the penalty shootout following a 1-1 draw in regulation and extra time. The game saw Nigeria take the lead through Captain William Trust Ekong's penalty in the 67th minute after Victor Osimhen was fouled in the Bafana 18-yard box, only to concede an equalizing penalty in the 90th minute. Teboho Mokena successfully converted the penalty for South Africa, setting the stage for a tense shootout. And now we take a break.
My name is Dr. Rafiu Oladipo.
My name is Baba Jalal Repega.
I'm Reverend Juliet Benite.
I'm Godi Odidi.
My name is Professor Oladokun Sulaiman Olarawaju.
Souq News is on the ground, loading.
Very enlightening, very educative, and entertaining.
Thank you to Souq News.
So I'm happy that Souq TV has come into existence.
I'm happy to be here in the Souq News.
I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel and keep watching news that makes sense.
As Browning said, one's extension of one's reach should not exceed one's grasp, or what is heaven for. And I think Souq News is doing that.
Africa needs a voice of truth, and Souq News has become one of them. And get ready, get ready, get ready.
And keep watching.
Keep watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News. It's a place to be.
Keep watching Souq News.
And welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Moving on, Benin Republic has reached a milestone with its inaugural dollar-denominated bond issuance, attracting a subscription of $5 billion, despite aiming to raise only $750 million. This oversubscription, totaling $4.25 billion, reflects robust investor confidence in the country's macroeconomic outlook. Finance Minister Romuald Wadani noted that proceeds from the 14-year bonds issued at a rate of 8.375% will contribute to financing the nation's 2024 budget. This comes on the heels of Ivory Coast's successful $2.6 billion Eurobond auction, raising questions among experts as the yield rates of Benin Republic's bonds closely match those of its regional counterparts. Benin's impressive economic growth, projected at an average of 6.4% for 2024 to 2025, coupled with the stable macroeconomic indicators, has positioned it favorably in international financial markets. MultiChoice Group, Africa's largest pay-TV conglomerate, has resolved tax disputes with Nigerian authorities, settling for a total payment of $37.3 million. The Nigerian Federal Inland Revenue Service froze MultiChoice Nigeria's accounts in 2022, claiming a tax liability of 1.8 trillion naira and a $342 million value-added tax. In March 2022, an out-of-court settlement of their pending tax disputes led to a $4.4 billion agreement between FIRS and MultiChoice Nigeria. The group withdrew lawsuits and FIRS initiated forensic audits. The recent settlement deducts the 35.4 billion naira tax liability from deposits and payments. This resolution follows a series of legal battles initiated by MultiChoice challenging the imposed penalties. Ghana's government has suspended plans to impose a 15% tax on electricity following public outrage and protests announced by labor unions. The proposed value-added tax faced criticism for the worsening cost of living crisis, particularly affecting domestic electricity consumers. The decision to halt the tax implementation until discussions with stakeholders, including labor unions, aims to address concerns about its impacts on consumers and businesses. This move comes shortly after the introduction of a fuel emissions levy, adding to fears of economic burdens. Ghanaians must now pay an annual levy for the carbon emissions from their vehicles. Labor unions, including the Trade Union Congress, insist on proceeding with a nationwide protest until the government officially communicates its decision. These developments underscore ongoing economic challenges in Ghana and the government's responsiveness to public sentiments. In what is regarded as the first collaboration between businesses and the United Nations on matters relating to artificial intelligence, AI global technology firms have expressed their commitment to ethical AI development at the UNESCO Global Forum on the Ethics of AI in Slovenia. These firms, including Lenovo Group, LG AI Research, MasterCard, Microsoft, Salesforce, GSMA, INNIT, and Telefonica, pledged to ensure human rights throughout AI's life cycle, conducts for diligence, safety, compliance, and takes prompt action against adverse effects. While speaking at the event, UNESCO's Director General, Audrey Azoulay, urges tech stakeholders to follow suit, emphasizing the importance of public-private cooperation for AI advancement. Ethical AI involves fair, clear, accountable, and value-respecting AI systems, aligning with UNESCO's dedication to AI in education, adhering to inclusivity and fairness. And Emirates has secured a multi-year partnership with the National Basketball Association as official global airline partner, marking the airline's title partnership of the NBA Cup. The collaboration includes featuring the Emirates logo on all NBA jerseys and various co-branded promotions. Fans will enjoy NBA content on Emirates flights throughout the in-flight entertainment system, covering documentaries, player profiles, and interviews. The partnership extends to the Women's National Basketball Association and NBA G League, with Emirates patches on referees' jerseys. NBA merchandise will be available at the Emirates store and online, offering redemption options for Emirates Skywards members. The International Energy Agency, IEA, has projected India to surpass China as the largest driver of global oil demand growth from 2023 to 2030. Expected to increase by nearly 1.2 million barrels per day, India's demand will contribute over a third of the projected 3.2 million barrels per day global gains. The agency predicts India's oil demand to reach 6.6 million barrels per day by 2030, up from 5.5 million barrels per day in 2023. To meet this surge, India plans to add 1 million barrels per day of new refining capacity, driving crude imports to 5.8 million barrels per day by 2030. Diesel will lead demand growth, fueled by industry expansion, while electric vehicle adoption will temper gasoline demand growth. And we take a break now and return to more stories. Stay with us.
My name is Olatunji Shoti-Miri. I'm a performing artist and television radio presenter and a university lecturer, Unilag. Keep watching Souq News.
Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Black, Africa's finest music comedian, and you're watching Souq News. If you're not watching Souq News, I pity you, but keep watching Souq News.
Hello everyone, my name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're watching Souq News. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Wisdom Oluwaseun Okoko, co-founder Orbit Africa Properties. I'm live at Souq News. Guys, keep watching Souq News. For everything that concerns business, economy, politics, news, Souq News is your station.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Now to the foreign news. The Indian rupee saw gains early on Wednesday, affected by a decrease in U.S. bond yields that also positively impacted most Asian currencies. Trading at 82.9825 rupees against the US dollar this morning, just as the rupee remained relatively stable compared to its previous close at 83.0550 rupee. The dollar index maintained steadiness near 104.1 after a slight dip of nearly 0.3% on Tuesday, while the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield dropped by 8 points to 4.08% as investors awaited signals on potential policy rate adjustments by the Federal Reserve. Although the dollar-rupee pair may experience slight pressure during the day, anticipated deep buying demand from importers, including local oil companies, is expected to mitigate potential downside risks. Additionally, the rupee's Asian counterparts, particularly the Indonesian rupiah and Philippine peso, recorded gains of about 0.2% each. And British American Tobacco, BAT, is actively working to sell some of its shareholding in India's ITC, leading to an 8% surge in its shares. BAT, the maker of Dunhill and Lucy Strike cigarettes, is looking to reduce its approximately 29% stake in ITC, aiming to pay down debt and potentially resume share buybacks. BAT's CEO, Tadu Maroko, mentioned the complexity of the process and the company's desire to retain influence at the ITC. The move is seen as a positive signal to investors, and BAT's shares rose further on the back of a 5.2% increase in adjusted diluted earnings per share. Australia experienced its 8th warmest year in 2023, with average temperatures nearly 1 degree Celsius above the 1961 to 1990 average, attributing the warming trend to climate change. According to the country's Weather Bureau, the year saw extreme weather events, including widespread flooding, the coolest January since 2002, the hottest southern hemisphere winter and early spring, and the driest 3 months on record. These weather fluctuations led to natural disasters such as floods, cyclones, and wildfires, impacting agriculture with plummeting wheat yields, crashing livestock prices, and surging meat exports. Climate forecasters warn of continued temperature increases and intensified weather extremes due to climate change. And away from that, data security firm Cohesity, backed by SoftBank, plans to acquire Veritas data protection business in a cash and stock deal, valuing the combined entity at $7 billion. The move aims to boost Cohesity's growth margins, expand internationally, and achieve profitability. The acquisition follows Cohesity's raising of $1 billion in equity and $2 billion in debt. The deal, expected to close by year-end, positions Cohesity as a strong competitor against Rubrik, which is reportedly planning an upcoming stock market flotation. The merger marks a strategic step for Cohesity and enhances its position in the data security markets. India's Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Hardeep Singh Puri, stated that the world is grateful to India for purchasing Russian oil, which has contributed to keeping global crude oil prices affordable. Puri emphasized that increased reliance on the Middle Eastern oil could lead to higher oil prices, potentially reaching $150 per barrel. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, India has become a significant buyer of discounted Russian oil, with Moscow now being the country's leading source of crude oil accounting for about 36% of India's crude imports. The minister expressed confidence in India's renewable energy targets, stating they will be met entirely. China producers' prices marked a 16th straight month of decline in January, falling by 2.5% year-on-year. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, while this figure was slightly better than expected, it underscores the ongoing economic challenges for Beijing. Consumer prices also saw their most substantial drop since 2009, with a decline of 0.8% in January on an annual basis, surpassing estimates for a 0.5% drop. Analysts highlight deflationary pressures, attributing them to oversupply, particularly in pork, which experienced a 17.3% price decline in January. This data raises concerns about China teetering on the edge of deflation amidst a tortuous economic recovery. Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, announced increased fourth quarter profits driven by a surge in trading volumes at the New York Stock Exchange. The heightened volatility in global commodity and energy markets, attributed to extreme weather conditions and the Middle East conflict, contributed to the strong performance. ICE's open interest in energy derivative contracts rose by 35%, with Brent OI increasing by 27%. Average daily volumes in the energy segment climbed by 35%, and overall average daily volumes at ICE grew by 20% in the fourth quarter. The company's consolidated net revenue rose by 25% to $2.2 billion. And let's take a break now.
Broad Street. Broad Street, situated in Lagos Island, is steeped in Nigerian history. Once the biggest financial hub of the country, it housed the headquarters of major banks, linked the CBN, the stock exchange, and the loads of lender companies. Broad Street is a historically significant street. It has played a central role in the development of Lagos and history, an important commercial and administrative center for the British colonial authorities. It was also a home to some of the city's earliest modern buildings. Broad Street was a residential area in the pre-colonial era. With the British came the Methodist Boys High School in 1878 and the Broad Street Prison in 1882, renamed Freedom Park. The General Hospital, which was a British military hospital, was built in 1893, being the first general hospital in Nigeria. The old British Secretariat building, which is now the Federal Ministry of Justice, was built in 1906. Broad Street has seen a full turn into modern commercial office blocks, complexes, skyscrapers, and markets from the outer marina through Akpombo, early into the Adeniji-Adele Road. Broad Street is one of the busiest streets in Nigeria on weekdays, where commercial activities take place day and night. From modern buildings to ancient structures, this street gives one a raw dose of life in Lagos. Broad Street is often referred to as Lagos Financial District. It boasts a mix of architectural styles, reflecting its long history, colonial-era buildings, Victorian and Edwardian architectural features, alongside more modern skyscrapers and structures. Broad Street remains a vital, vibrant part of the Nigerian economy. Broad Street. Souq Enlightenment.
My name is Dr. Rafiu Oladipo.
My name is Baba Jalal Repega.
I'm Reverend Juliet Benite.
I'm Godio Didi.
My name is Professor Oladokun Sulaiman Olarawaju.
Souq News is on the ground, loading.
Very enlightening, very educative, and entertaining.
Thank you to Souq News.
So I'm happy that Souq TV has come into existence.
I'm happy to be here in the Souq News.
I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel and keep watching news that makes sense.
As Browning said, one's extension of one's reach should not exceed one's grasp, or what is heaven for? And I think Souq News is doing that.
Africa needs a voice of truth, and Souq News has become one of them. And get ready, get ready, get ready.
And keep watching.
Keep watching Souq News.
Keep watching Souq News. It's a place to be.
Keep watching Souq News.
And welcome back now to the rest of the stories. Brazil is facing a severe dengue fever outbreak, prompting emergency measures and mass vaccination efforts. The country has reported 364,855 cases in the first 5 weeks of 2024, 4 times more than the same period in 2023, with 40 confirmed deaths and 265 under investigation. Brazil has procured 5.2 million doses of dengue vaccine from Takeda, and 3 states, including Brasilia, have declared emergencies. The capital has exceeded its total dengue cases for 2023 with an alarming infection rate. The World Health Organization attributes the outbreak to the El Niño phenomenon, causing increased rainfall. Emergency measures include army deployments and the establishment of a field hospital. South America is experiencing a dengue surge influenced by rising temperatures and the El Niño weather pattern. Dengue symptoms range from fever severe to hemorrhagic fever. In a move to support Ukraine amidst Russia's invasion, Britain has announced the extension of tariff-free trade with Ukraine on almost all goods until 2029. This decision, providing continued favorable trading terms to Kyiv, comes after Britain initially removed tariffs on all its trade with Ukraine 2 years ago, with previous arrangements set to last until March 2024. The extension includes tariff-free trade on all goods for 5 years, with exceptions for eggs and poultry, which will see a 2-year extension. Junior Trade Minister Greg Hans emphasized that the agreement offers crucial long-term support to Ukraine, contributing to its recovery. Britain has been supporting Ukraine through various means, including providing weapons, aid, and favorable trading terms, showcasing solidarity in the face of geopolitical changes. Google has rebranded its Bard chatbot as a Gemini powered by new artificial intelligence and launched a paid subscription to compete with Microsoft. The subscription, named Gemini Advanced, is priced at $19.99 a month for US customers and offers enhanced reasoning capabilities with the Ultra 1.0 AI model. Subscribers receive 2 terabytes of cloud storage integration with Gmail and Google's productivity suite, forming the Google One AI Premium plan. This move reflects growing competition in the paid AI subscription markets, with Google emphasizing the importance of cloud storage and integrations to enhance user experience. Gemini is set to become the default digital assistant on Android phones, leveraging Google's vast user base, and will later be available on the Google iPhone app. The subscription is available in English across 150 countries with a 2-month free trial. The rebranding signifies Google's evolution in AI capabilities, transitioning from the Bard era to the Gemini era. And that's all for now on NewsHour. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Many thanks for watching. I am Lovina Emma. Good afternoon.